Hey guys, isn't it really hard to do your job in the kitchen without the proper tools? Of course it freaking is. So today we're going to be talking about things that need to be in your kitchen. So there are different shapes, sizes, and versions of all the equipment we're going through today. The main thing we want you to do is think about all the dishes that you like to make in your kitchen. Some of our must-have tools might not work in your kitchen flow, but hopefully this guide will get you thinking or even inspire you to try something new.
And if you're all for coming along on our adventures with our successes, our fails, our sort of wins, and just seeing how we fight through that struggle, then hit the subscribe and the bell, and welcome to the community. Let's get into what we think should be in your kitchen, in no particular order. So first we have pots and pans. It's kind of a no-brainer that you're gonna need some pots and pans, but you don't need to go out and buy a 30-piece set. Ask yourself the kinds of foods you'll be cooking and invest in a few quality pieces that do those jobs well. Here are the basics we love. A small 8-inch non-stick for all of our eggs, because we got to have our eggs. And life is so much better frying a sunny on a non-stick. We also highly recommend stainless steel. For pans, we like to have a small 6 to 8-inch frying pan for small jobs and a larger saute pan for bigger jobs like family meals and things. With pots, we go for one large stock pot for soups and stocks and at least one smaller saucepan for making sauces or a quick boil of noodles or whatnot.
Second, you'll need something to help you cook things in those pots and pans. Enter cooking utensils. First cooking utensil we recommend is a wooden spoon. It's essential for scraping all the glorious bits at the bottom of the pan or pot when you're doing a braise. We prefer a wooden one over any metal one, especially for your non-stick. Plus, it's tough and reliable. Next cooking utensil is a spatula. You could also use a spatula to cook, but you specifically need a flat edge spatula for getting every last bit of sauce from the dish like you licked it clean yourself. We also like the skinny blender spatula for smaller jobs, and it's even handy as a spreader, especially if you don't want your kids using a knife. The next important cooking utensil is the tong, important for grabbing and searing meats and also as a service tool. Sometimes when I can't find a towel or oven mitt, I just double fist tongs and can carry a whole sheet pan, but I don't recommend it at home.
Next up is the peeler. A reliable peeler is a must. It's way faster and safer for most folks than the old school paring knife method. Throughout the years, we've gone through so many of them, from brand names to 50-cent ones from the Asian market, but the only one that stayed sharper than some of the knives in this house is the Kun Recon peeler, or however you say that.
Next essential in the kitchen is your knives. In my opinion, if you have to choose one thing to put more money in, it's this. You really want to invest in some really good knives. There's no one best knife out there. There are definitely great brands that produce great quality cutlery, but choosing a knife is personal. There's so many things to account for when buying a knife. Handle type and feel, blade length and shape and material, but ultimately it's the kind of jobs that you'll do. One of the most useful knives is the chef's knife. You can check out our knife buying guide video, which is a link at the top or the link in the description. My best advice here is to go to your local knife shop and try to hold them, maybe even test cut some veggies. All of my personal knives I've tested before I even bought them.
Another useful tool is the sheet pan. It's an important tool for baking, roasting, and holding. If you use the oven, you'll likely need a sheet pan. But beyond that, you can use it as a cover or top, as a drip tray, prep container. We use it as a transport base for catering, and sometimes even straight up to eat off of one. And homemade chocolate cookies. Nuff said. And while a pot with a lid does in a pinch, if you actually want to drain or dry or even separate anything, you'll want a strainer, and possibly different types for different jobs. A general strainer to have is the colander, the common bowl-shaped strainer known for draining cooked pasta, but they're also useful for cleaning fruits and vegetables or straining canned goods. Look for one with handles and a raised base. If you make your own soups, stocks, and sauces, then a chinois is an important tool to have to separate your liquid goodness. Spider strainers are one of the greatest inventions for those doing lots of boiling or deep frying. It beats fishing out one lumpia at a time with a tong.
Next essential item in the kitchen is tape. The simple piece of equipment is potentially life-saving. We love light-colored painter's tape for labeling everything. This is your safety against going from heavenly food bliss to diuretic hell. I cannot stress enough the importance of labeling and dating leftovers, marinades, frozen foods, open items, and pretty much everything you can label. While oven mitts are great, I honestly think having kitchen towels are the way to go. So just make sure your towel isn't wet or damp when grabbing the hot dish because it'll start to burn you. They're not just for drying your hands or dishes. I like using it to hold hot pans or taking things out of the oven.
Another best friend in the kitchen are kitchen scissors. While most of us don't need heavy-duty kitchen shears, dependable scissors in the kitchen are a lifesaver. While we often kind of use like a knife to slice open packages, sometimes you don't want to risk a spill if the knife catches, or sometimes you just need a small, precise snip. And our last slot for important kitchen tools is any specialty tool. It kind of depends on what you need or do the most. This could be a can opener, a bottle opener, or maybe a cheese grater. To be honest, we have all of them and they are all equally important because cheese is life.
So these are the most essential tools we think should be in your food lab.
Let us know what your top 10 is in the comments and subscribe and stay tuned for our next video where our personal favorite quirky kind of whatever personal kitchen tools that keep us coming back to the kitchen. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.